traffic updates, our news updates. We have amazing guests that you cannot afford to miss. We have amazing conversations lined up for you, and then tukupatia from your weekend later on our art calendar, and then we do a bit of culture here and there. And by the end of this show, I promise you're going to be entertained, you'll have learned something, and you will be ready to go into the week with even better energy. So of course, kama kawaida, today is the 13th of March, the year is 2023, which also means that this is the 11th Monday. Yes guys, we have been 11 weeks into the year. Isn't it amazing? It feels like January was just the other day, but yes, we are 11 weeks in. This is the 11th Monday of the year, that is 2023, which means we only have 31 more Mondays or 31 more weeks to go. So if you had a goal, if you are preparing for something that was to happen in the year 2023, if you are supposed to make something happen, you have about 31 more weeks to go to make it happen. And I know you can. I know you can, because we have done it before, and we will be here for all of them, God willing. We will be here to make sure that we are giving you a fantastic start of the week. So we are ready for you. Our lines are open at 0739 110544, and also our online platforms across the at CAREN Blessing and at Kutv Kenya. Okay, so just go there to and here, tell us how you're feeling this morning. Let me know how traffic is doing on your side. Let me know how you are doing this morning before I get into our topic of discussion, because of course we are supposed to discuss something. We are going to be discussing something. Be waiting for that feedback, but for now you can let me know where you are watching us from, how you're feeling about this show. Are you enjoying the music that we are bringing your way? And the easiest one is of course Facebook Live, where we are streaming right about now. So kimbia tu pale, look for CAREN Blessing or for KUTV Kenya. The show that is on live stream is this one. So drop your comment right there. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know that you are ready to have a fantastic start of the day. We are done. Welcome back to Art and Culture Monday. You are watching KUTV Kenya right about now. The show starts, of course, all the way from 7 a.m. until 10 a.m. We are here to make sure that you are staying in, you're staying locked, you're staying entertained. And right about now, we would just want to check out what is happening on our roads. Because I know you might be leaving the house, you might be watching us on Facebook Live, so you are with us kwenye uko kwa traffic. So we just want to understand how traffic is doing this morning, and then we will be right back to our conversations of the day. Someone is saying good morning. Leo Kiambu Road kutoka Karura Gate, bumper to bumper. Tunaomba Muthaiga ifanye ile kitu and have a good day. Have a good day too. This is at Wairimu M. Thank you very much. If you're using Kiambu Road this morning, you might be taking a while, but not to worry, because we are here to keep you company as Art and Culture Monday. Someone is saying, niko ndani ya Mbogi train. Hii ni mali safi, tuko Mutindwa. So if you're using the train this morning, they are right now at Mutindwa stage. You can go ahead and meet them there. Someone is saying a truck has stalled at Imara, likely past Total petrol station at the exit of Expressway, and nothing to caution drivers. Kindly approach with care. So if you're using that route this morning, please approach with care to avoid any road accidents. Mombasa Road this morning is not doing great. We are moving kidogo sana. Yes, Mombasa Road, if you're using Mombasa Road this morning, you are going to be taking some time. Thika Road Vile jam starts at Muthaiga. We are not moving this morning, but you will be getting to work. We said this is common of Thika Road. We know these things. If you want to be early, if you want to get to work early, if you're using Thika Road, the only secret ni uamke mapema. Just wake up early, get on the road on time, and you're going to be getting there. Someone else is warning watu wa 2NK, matatu za 2NK. People are complaining that mnaendesha gari vibaya. So please take caution, take care, be cautious on the road. And remember, you are carrying lives, many lives. So please do take care. Someone else is saying, Thika Road, what is happening at There's a lot of traffic jam at Muthaiga, so if you're using that road, if you can use an alternative route, please go ahead and do so. And that is all courtesy of Mathri Route on Twitter, but I'm waiting for your feedback. I'd like to hear from you on how traffic is doing wherever you are at, whichever part of this country you're watching from. I'd like to know how traffic is doing this morning on 0739 110544, and then on also our social media platforms at Kutv Kenya and at CAREN Blessing. The easiest one we have said is Facebook Live. Kimbia tu pale, drop your comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how traffic is doing on your side, and we're going to be getting to that in just a bit. Now, after this, we are going to be having our very first guest. She is amazing. She is phenomenal. She is a singer, songwriter. I am excited to have her as a guest. And then much later on, we are also going to be having a conversation that you will be interested in, because we are going to be talking about matters sexual and reproductive health and rights, and how young people participate in it. Okay, so we're going to be getting to that in just a bit. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching KUTV Kenya. The show is Art and Culture Monday, and of course you're with me, CAREN Blessing. And we said if you see me seated, we are about to talk. We are about to have a conversation. And right here, like I have told you, we are going to be having an amazing show lined up for you. We have a number of guests that you're going to be loving. Number one, we're going to be having a singer, songwriter, and rapper. You are going to be enjoying her music. We are going to be having that conversation via Zoom. So stick around, stick around. That one is going to be epic. It's going to be fire. You're going to be loving all the music and everything that she is actually doing, even career-wise. All right, so that will be our guest number one. Then second, we are going to have a number of guests on meaningful youth participation in localizing global sexual and reproductive health and right commitments, which is also a very interesting conversation, because I know 90% of all of you who are watching are young people, are the youth of this nation. So I know you have a say, or you want to have a say, or you should have an opinion on this conversation. So we are going to be getting to that just briefly, but we want to get into our topic of the day first, of course, so that I can give you something to talk to me about. I can give you something that you can actually get online on 0739 110544, and also on our online platforms at KUTV Kenya and at CAREN Blessing, and talk to me about. So this morning, we are going to be talking matters culture, because we said this is Art and Culture Monday. So we have our guests covering that, and then, of course, for our culture part, we are going to be talking about matters culture. And the question of the day today, or rather the conversation of the day today, is I want to know, have you experienced culture shock? Have you ever in your life experienced culture shock? Where were you? What were you doing? What had you gone to do there? And what is, of course, so we will start with what is culture shock, and we will go through, we will delve deep and know what is culture shock, and then we get into the conversation on the stages of culture shock. Then we will go on to seeing how can you cope, or how can you deal with culture shock, you know. But I want to know, have you had an experience with culture shock? If you have not, worry not. Like I said, statistics show that most of the viewers right now on the show are young people. So chances are you are going to be having an experience with culture shock, because young people like to travel, you know, and you will be getting to different destinations, and you will be interacting with different people, with different cultures, with people from different backgrounds. So if you have not, worry not, because you might be in a situation very soon where you're going to experience culture shock. But if you have, you are the one I'm looking for. I'd like you to share your culture shock experience. I'd like to know, have you experienced it? What was that experience about? And of course, in the following links, we are going to delve deeper. We are going to get into what is culture shock. Then we go all the way to symptoms of culture shock. Then we will go to stages of culture shock, and finally how we can be able to deal with culture shock. But even before we do that, I think we get into the definition first, so that we are all on the same page, right? So culture shock refers to the feeling of uncertainty, confusion, or anxiety that people may experience when moving to a new country or experiencing new culture or surroundings. This culture adjustment is normal, of course, and is the result of being in an unfamiliar environment. One may experience a culture adjustment due to an unfamiliarity with the weather, the local customs, language, food, and values. So this is the meaning of culture shock, especially if you've moved from, you know, Kenya to the United States, Kenya to the United Kingdom, Kenya to Qatar. You know, very many different places across the world have very many different cultures, and this may make you experience culture shock. So I would like you to share your experience, or if you have not, what do you think it's like? All right, so we're going to be delving into that conversation. Kindly talk to me on 0739 110544, and also on our online platforms at KUTV Kenya and at CAREN Blessing.
Kurunzi ya kilimo kuimarisha afya na uchumi endelevu katika jamii ni msingi mkubwa wa kipindi Boresha Kilimo. Kipindi hiki kinajikita katika teknolojia ya kisasa, utafiti na ushirikishaji wa wadau wa kilimo kuonyesha shughuli mbalimbali shambani. Kwa suluhu ya utoshelevu wa chakula, tazama Boresha Kilimo.
Hapo kamatia nyama kwani nipe bia.
Da, maisha ni haya hivi mwanaume ali. Da, sielewi yani hata neno moja. Yaani tunasikia tu maboko likolo. Yaani ukiniangalia tu huyu mwamba huyu anafiti sehemu fulani. Wewe ni wewe inakaa. Without your love, I can't move on. Yo, that's your boy Rhino the Don. Keep watching and listening to KUTV.
Lola ni programu inayokupa fursa ya kutizama video zozote pindi tu unapokuwa na nafasi. Hadithi za kukupa motisha, drama, maisha ya vyuo vikuu, teknolojia, masuala ya jamii, kuzuru maeneo tofauti, spoti, burudani na zaidi. Pata programu ya Lola sasa kwenye rununu yako kwa yote unayohitaji.
Unaweza sema life ni decisions. Whether uko na do ama uko msoto. Life sana uko determined na decisions mtu make daily. But of course kuna vitu hatungejichagulia. Reason being tulikuwa watoi. Then tunakuwa exposed kwa predators. Anything ikikuwa attack inabidi umefight one man. Hata kama wewe ni hardcore unakuwa an easy target. Na damage inakuwa more. Then baadaye life inakufanyia ile kitu juu ya decision ili kutake only a split second kumake.
seeing the impacts of climate change. In Kenya, for example, the frequency of the floods is becoming more and worse. The amount of people and livestock we're losing.
The level we need to go is a level where the normal mwananchi and also the government stakeholders can uptake these solutions.
Those small acts multiplied by millions of us will help make a difference in the world at the end of the day.
It's just a slight behavior change that we need, and you'll find that it serves us a bit more than you put in. And that's the goal. We want to live a better world than we found, because at the rate we are going, it's dire.
We will secure the planet for future generations.
Maybe comes from those remote areas, even if they're above that 8 years or 12 years, or even around 14 years, you'll find that their appreciating of issues is really low compared to a child in Nairobi.
Baada ya kutafuta kazi, tunaweza kuanzisha miradi yetu ambayo ingetusaidia kubadilisha maisha ya wazazi wetu.
Kwa vijana wenzangu, wengi hawana kazi, lakini ikiwa sisi wenyewe tutajiamini, tunaweza kujiajiri wenyewe.
Afrika kwa kweli tuna mahitaji ambayo ukiyasuluhisha unaweza kuathiri watu kwenye bara hili.
Bila uoga, watu huwa na uzalishaji zaidi. Wanajawa na ujasiri, wanakuwa wabunifu na wanakuwa wenye maarifa.
Niliamua kuacha kazi, hata kama sitafanikiwa, nitakuwa nimejaribu, nitakuwa najua haiwezekani.
Hakuna kitu cha ajabu hapa. Kila anayepata ufanisi hufanya kazi usiku na mchana.
Kitu kitakusukuma na kuwezesha kupata maarifa ambayo hukuwa nayo.
Tunajaribu kutengeneza kitu kitakachopita mipaka ya nchi hii.
Ikiwa unataka kubadilisha ulimwengu, anza na nyumbani.
Tunakula usiku, tuachane na break kwanza, tuende lunch. Chapo. Kama ndimo.
Rasha piga shada kuna giza, siki nice tujinise weke story. Kata maji pia shada liko nasio nikosa msupo si stress. Kama rende kisha basi nipe. Najua ni
Mama, big up, Grade, ukiwa adliver, big up, sis, big up, shows, mama, big up, oya, wase wote, okay, my principal, big up. Money me okoka, whatever me say no, I know, no, I know, odi, dancing me shika mashinani, kila choche kila mtaani, dancing na leta burudani.
This is Student
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Art and Culture Monday. The show is a Rise Today that comes on your screens every Monday, 7 to 10 a.m. Rise Today, Art and Culture Monday. And we are here. We are laying foundation. We are moving on. We have talked about our topic of the day, and we are talking about experiences with culture shock, especially if you have experienced culture shock. And that is what I want to hear about. We have talked about what culture shock is all about. We have said it's caused by moving, to a different area that has a difference in maybe the weather, the food, the language over there. So if you're moving, say, from Kenya and you have moved all the way to South Africa, or you've moved from Kenya to Seattle somewhere, and those are different people with different cultures, with values, and this may cause your system to go into culture shock, before you adapt. Is this the way people do things here? If you move from here to China, China have very interesting traditions. You may go on and you're wondering, the types of food are very different. So your system adjusting to that, the period that it takes to move what you're used to where you are now, that is called culture shock. And we have said, if you've not experienced it, just wait. You may be in a position to experience it, and if you have, I am waiting for you to share what you have actually what your experience has been like. All right, you're talking to me on 0739110544, and also on our social media platforms at KUTV Kenya and at CAREN Blessing across the board. All right, so we are moving on, and we are talking about our guests of the day are already here. Tunawa panga tunawa arrange. We have a guest via Zoom, so she's going to be joining us shortly, so relax. All right, we're going to be having amazing music from a musician, a rapper, a singer, songwriter. She is very many things, and we're waiting for her to join us on Zoom. But before we do that, you guys remember when you're talking about the Duos festival that went on in Mombasa? Well, we have another performance from the Duo festival, and it's actually called the Duo Lawyer Champ Law. And it is a production refreshing and elegant music with influences from jazz, rock, funk, and traditional music from across the world. So we are going to be giving you this in beats because it's a long performance, nice performance, but we may not be able to play all of it together because we have a number of things going on in the show. So we're going to be giving you it in beats to make sure that you are enjoying, huko ndani katikati, and you're going to be having an amazing time. So right about now, we're going to be getting to that performance. It happened at the Duos Festival. We have been talking about Duos Festival, I think, the last 2 Mondays or so, and their performances since the year began, and their performances and them bringing, combining cultures with our own cultures here in Kenya, Western cultures with our own cultures here in Kenya, and we have been loving it. So today we are going to be having one more performance. We're going to be getting it in beats, of course, as we go on to our guest of the day. We have a Zoom interview, like I have told you. Then we have another interview that also has a Zoom interview, and we're going to be having a fantastic time. So right about now, Duos Festival performances coming to you.
Bam 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 badam bam 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 badam eh oh ah bam 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 badam bam 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 badam.
Okay, Alliance Française, Mombasa. So tonight, who speaks French? Just put your hands in the air. Yeah, if you can say bonjour, you say yeah, you speak French. Bonjour. Okay. And who speaks English?
Okay.
All right. We'll speak English tonight. The next song is called Indian Trap, and we wrote it in Indian language, Hindi, from the north. So our band is called Loya Champlu, and anytime we go somewhere, we pick, some melodies and rhythm and everything, and languages. So the next song is in Hindi language, Indian Trap.
Pas नहीं ज़्यादा
Toi
ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, we're going to be having that performance from the Duos Festival in Beats, and you have heard how amazing just the taste of it is. Great, and we're going to be continuing with that in Beats in the course of the show. So stick around for that performance and talk to me. Let me know how you know how that performance is like, how it's making you feel on 0739110544, and also on our social media platforms at KUTV Kenya and at Karen Blessing. But right about now, we want to jump on to our very first launch of the day, and we are going to be having a lady who wears many hats. She is a rapper, she is a singer, she's a songwriter, and she does amazing music. So right about now, headed on to our first launch. of the day, and we are privileged. We are having an amazing time right here in studio, and of course you that is watching us from home is enjoying amazing music from our first guest of the day. And without further ado, I want her to say hello, to introduce herself. Hi Bernard, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing today? Good morning. I know it's morning in Kenya. Over here it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. This is, of course, KUTV Kenya. The show is Art and Culture Monday, and we are having you for our art segment of the show, and we are loving your music. But before we go any further, please say hello to our Kenyan audience, and of course to our Seattle audience. Just say hello, tell us who you are and what you do, then we do this.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Arika Bernard. I am Kenyan all the way, baby. Let's see. I began doing the music thing since I was little, but then I decided to do professional like right before the pandemic hit. So my first song came out in like 2020, around the summer. So yeah, but I'm excited to be on your show. I hope everybody follows me. So if you guys don't mind sharing my social so that they too can stay tuned with what I got going on. Yeah.
Yes,
and hi Seattle. They're on the other coast. I'm in the DC area, so yeah.
Yes, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you today. So you would say COVID is what really is the season when you started your singing, your writing. But I believe you had an interest before then. So when did you discover you had an interest in music?
Since I was like probably about 5 or 6 years old, I was always in like music festivals, choirs, and all that other stuff. So I used to compete like in school. So we'd always make internationals with my choir team at the time.
Yes.
I was always a writer. And so, you know, I also was always singing, but now rapping is a new thing for me.
Yes.
You know, so I just decided, well, you know what, let me take a leap. You know, let me create my own lane, and so that's what I'm doing. So
yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what happened? Is it COVID that happened, or what exactly triggered you to know? You know, you're thinking, I need to do this thing. I need to do this professionally, nicely, like you have done. What was the inspiration, or what was the trigger that now made you think this is the right time? This is the time to introduce myself to the music industry and to do some nice songs.
Because I just got to a point in life, I'm like, you know what? I'm not getting any younger. So if there's anything that I desire out of this life, I want to do it now while I still got the strength and the energy, the excitement for it. So, you know, I just decided I don't want another chance to go by me just because, you know, sometimes you discourage yourself in life. You're like, oh, I've always wanted to do this and that, but you never get around to doing it. And so for me, I just was like, you know what? I want by the time I die that I've done everything in this lifetime that I always wanted to do. This is one of them.
Yes, amazing. So it was a now or never kind of situation. You need to get doing this to get into the music industry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, I like that. So what genre is your music? Are you mixing different genres, or what exact genre is your music?
I honestly refer to myself as a journalist artist simply because I have done so many different kinds of music. So like I have a reggae song, which is Insecure. The one you just played is The Way, that's R&B. I have songs that are just all rap.
Yes.
You know, so I'm kind of a mixed bag. And so soon I'll probably have a country song.
Yes.
We'll see if I have the sound for it.
Great.
But I'm keeping an open mind. I just want for the audience to listen to music they can enjoy. And, you know, I don't want to be put in a box.
True. And
Yeah.
we are loving that because that is making us enjoy your music. Very diverse audience can enjoy your music because we don't know what's coming. The next thing could be rap. The next thing could be anything. And I think that keeps us excited. That keeps us ready to interact with your work. I want us to go back a little bit, and because you are in Washington right now, to know when did you travel to Washington? Was it for work purposes, or what took place in that scenario?
I came here, well, actually, I'm in Maryland. but DC, Washington DC is like down the street from my house.
Yes.
So I came here about 22 years ago. I came to go to college. So I did my bachelor's, did my master's, got a few IT certifications and stuff like that. So I've been trying to keep busy and still trying to get paid, honey. I'm all about my cash. But I've been here for a while now. So I love it here. Life is like, you were talking about culture shock earlier.
Yes.
I happened to catch that part. And when you first come here, it's the culture will hit you.
Exactly. And you are my inspiration for that topic, because as I was going through your bio and through it got me thinking, you might have experienced a huge culture shock, because moving all the way from here to Washington, moving all the way, cultures, the food, the everything. We are going to be getting to that in a bit. We just want to handle the heart of the conversation, which is your music right now. And but before we get there, we were talking about, so you got in your bag a degree, a master's, a few certificates. And you are now an IT engineer?
I am. I also own managing services a provider. Like, well, I have a company that basically provides services to literally anyone that uses computers. So, yeah.
Amazing. I like that. I think that was you in your bag very, very nicely. You are doing well. I just want you to know that you are doing well. As far as we are concerned right here, you are doing well. So how are you getting in between your company, IT services, and music? How has that juggling been like?
It's, music, it inspires you depending on what you're going through. So like if you're having a good day, there's a song for that. If you're having a bad day, there's a song for that too. So it really just depends. And most of the time I find myself coming up with, music and stuff like that really when I'm driving. Driving is like, that's my studio time. I'm in there like bumping and grinding on songs and stuff like that.
Yes.
And then the next thing when I'm done, I'm like, okay, that sounds good. Let's go to the studio with that one. So that's what I do.
Wow, amazing. I do like that. I find creatives very different. Everyone is creative. Everyone's creative environment is very different. And I like that yours is your car. I like also that drives to and from work might really be something. And we are enjoying the fruits of that.
That's right. I never mind like getting stuck in traffic, because I'm like, oh good, I can write another song while I'm at it.
Exactly. You have enough time. And probably that might not be Kenya, but I know traffic is there. So you have enough time to create your music. So 2020, you released your first song. How was the reception?
It was pretty good. Like the first couple of weeks, the song had a lot of views and stuff like that. And that's what I'm working towards, is increasing the audience, getting to know what people want to listen to, listening to the competition, see what they're talking about.
Yes.
So it's a steady growing process, working with different artists and, trying to improve the game, because everyone has something to offer. We all don't have to sound like the same person. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes like when you tell people that you rap, they might be like, oh, well, you don't sound like Cardi B. I don't have to. I sound like Ulrika Bernard.
Exactly. All right. Yeah. I am loving that. So moving on, did that encourage you to do your next song and the next one and the next one?
Like right now, I have a few songs that I'm about to release.
Yes.
I'm pretty excited about that. What I'm working on right now is actually finishing up some of the videos I had done. I like the one that you're gonna play later, Insecure. I did that in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Which was an absolutely beautiful island. So when I was there, I was like, you know what? Let's get in here and make this money. So that's what I did. Yeah, but I'm excited about what I have coming this year. I know I will have a few singles out. Actually, I'm working on trying to get some done before, mid-April. So there's stuff coming.
Yes.
So you can expect to see me on your show again.
I'm expectant to hear your music, a lot of what you're working on right now. I'm hoping, from here on, we're going to be playing you regularly, right here on this show specifically, to just get to enjoy your good music. So since 2020 and your first song, how many songs do you have out right now?
Out right now, I have 6, but in the bag and waiting, I probably have like maybe almost even 30 songs. It's just some of them is just a matter of finishing mixing and mastering.
Yes.
Some I'm waiting on like the videos to be completed. And also I'm working on, copyright. So
Yes.
that also takes time. So, that's some of the delays that that's kind of holding back the stuff
Yes.
from coming out.
All
So,
right. You
but
have
but we're working on
mentioned,
it.
yes, you've mentioned something interesting about copyright, and I'd like to know how copyright works right where you are. How do you go about that? Because many of our Kenyan artists struggle with copyright for a very long time. How does copyright work over there?
Well, here we just go through ASCAP and the copyright.gov. And so that pretty much registers the song globally. And I understand that every country might have their own registration board,
Yes.
but really, like once you have it done from here, that's pretty much world recognized.
Yes.
So yeah, you just go ahead. There's a whole link online, so you go on there and you just fill out all the information that you need to fill out, upload the MP3, MP4, whatever you have. Lyrics, if you have that too, then you gotta pay, of course. America loves its money. So once all that is done, then they will send you a certificate to certify that song, the lyrics, the whole thing belongs to you.
Yeah.
So that way, if someone else comes back and says, or even want to, use some of your content, they can. It's copywritten.
Yes, it's copywritten. I like the fact that it's copyright globally. Like wherever you go, wherever you will perform your music ever, wherever you're going to go, whoever in whichever country, your music is safe. I do like that. I do like that because a lot of our musicians here are struggling with copyright. Very good music, but we are yet to get in line. We are yet to get our copyright right. And I hope that this interview is helping someone, to know how to get their money in the bag even before they release their music. So, Bernard, are you working under any record label? You're a solo artist, or how are you going about your production? Who are your video producers, your audio producers? Are you working with a team?
Well, I have folks that I work with, yes. However, I am a solo artist.
Yes.
Usually, if I find people who are good at, say, doing, good mixing and mastering, I will stay with that one person.
Yes.
Or it depends on if I want to change the style, then I could possibly, change that. But for the most part, most of the folks I'm working with are actually in Kenya.
Amazing.
And the reason for that is because Kenya kuna pesa, so it's like, natry kusaidia watu. So, so some of the folks that do work with me are actually back home. Most of my songs are mixed and mastered in Kenya. So I record it here, then I send all the stuff over there, and then I have my folks over there work on it.
Yes.
And at least that way they still, they keep getting paid, because I know they no money over there. So,
I do like that because we have real talent here. We have people who know how to do their stuff. So the fact that, you send that money back home, we are happy. We are happy that you actually do that and you get good quality in return. It's not mercy money. It's someone is doing very nice work for you, and so you are able to put something in their bag, and that is amazing. Would you mind who have you?
All my stuff is done there too.
Yes. Would you mind who have you worked with that is here in Kenya?
Oh, a lot of people. So let's see. My producer, the one that mostly has been doing most of my mixing and mastering lately, is Kutv. From Ico Radio. I have also worked with a few other artists that I've worked with. Music Jared is actually, one of the biggest plugs that I've been working with. He's the one who actually got me on your show. So yeah, he's like legit one. Like I really wish that he could just win the lottery already because he's really good at what he does.
Yes.
He's actually helped to really propel me further over there, Let's see, who else do I work with? I work with a bunch of people. I got to go through my phone and see. I have folks at Citizen TV that I work with too, Icon Radio. Let's see, I think I might have people at Standard. So I just kind of work with different teams of people over there.
And now you have added KUTV Kenya to that list. Of people that you are working with. What is the advantage of working as a solo artist as opposed to working under a record label, or how have you found it advantageous to work as a solo artist?
Well, the good thing about working as a solo artist, you kind of just control how you get your stuff out. With a record label, they might have terms and conditions that you have to follow, and they want certain things by certain time or whatever.
Yes.
And life is busy. You have other things to do. I love music, yes, but right now it's we're working on it becoming source of income. So we'll see. So it's still a work in progress, and so that's why I'm working on getting more stuff out, and then. If I'm picked up by a label, great. I do own a music company myself as well. But it's new. We just started that. So maybe eventually, once it's time, maybe I'll turn it into a label. Then I'll be my first artist.
True. We like that. We do like that for you. I want to move on to of the 6 songs that you have released. Are there any collabos in there?
No, out of the 6 songs, no, not yet. But there are some collabos that I'm about to release soon.
Yes, that will have collabos.
That's right. And all my collabos over there. I mean, I have collabed with people here, but we have not released anything yet. So sometimes, like if you're on someone's song, you have to wait until they're ready to release it. So it's kind of like we're stuck.
Yes.
So.
But you're waiting. You're planning. You have done something about it. So we are going to be hearing a number of collabos here and there. Yes. So what are you working on currently?
Currently, trying to get these songs that I have right now finished, and all that stuff that I had just said, and then we can work on getting them released.
Yes.
So like right now, there's a few songs that I'm working on getting mixed and mastered. So that's what we're waiting on.
So 2023.
And also doing the video because that also takes time.
So 2023 will be full of music from here and there from you, of course. We are expecting a number of songs out. We are excited to hear them. Where do you see Bernard in say 5 years? Where do you want to see yourself musically, of course?
Where do I want to see myself? Somewhere high on top. But the only way we can get there is with the help of folks like you who help to push the brand forward, who help to promote the music, because if you don't play it, it's never gonna be heard.
True.
And you have a platform that people tune into, so we need your help.
Yes, and that is why we are doing this, and we do this happily. As long as you know your stuff, you know what you're doing, we give this platform to to people to just slingshot them forward, to their audience and moving on. So apart from moving, I want to talk kidogo on culture shock. And you said you moved about 22 years ago.
I came here May 2000.
Wow. I want to believe culture shock was much of a bigger deal than it is now. How was that experience? How was that experience for you as a young girl, studying? How was that experience?
At first, when I first got here, it was really hard for me to understand them because Americans talk really different, So when I first landed here, the immigration people asking me questions, and I'm looking at them like, "What are you saying?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Ongea Kiswahili."
Yeah.
So that was the first shock for me, was just the language is like, okay, like there's a lot of tongue rolling, if you notice, like even like now I'm adjusted to it. I probably even sound like it myself now, but I've been here for so long.
Yes.
So, there's that. The food too. The food is a little different. Good thing I learned how to cook, so I can still eat Kenyan food from my house.
Yes.
Let's see what else. Like even just life here is very different. One of the things that I absolutely love about here, there's barely ever any dust. The roads are paved.
Yes.
Hakuna vumbi, like it's nice, and it's clean, and the folks are lawful, if there's a red light, people stop. If there's a green light, people go. Back home and it's not it's just Kenya. It's just, that's our country, folks just go any which way. And I'm like I just was there in November, right?
Yes.
It was my first time driving in Kenya, and that was quite the culture shock.
Yes. Coming back home was the culture shock. So it has been a mix of shock. Yes. So it's been a mix of good things and bad things. So it's not all bad. Culture shock doesn't have to be all bad things or all.
It's not bad.
Yes. So we can say it's all different things, both good and bad. How did you deal with it though? Okay, of course the time, 22 years is a long time, but what helped you through? Mm-hmm. Yes, I want to know what helped you. Yes, what helped you get through it, over time. And for a person, say they are traveling next month, to a different country, to Washington or even the UK, what would you have them know? Yes, we are hearing from Eureka Bernard. We are having her on Zoom. Yes, we are having a conversation on her music. Bernard, I was asking for someone who wants to travel, to where you are, to Washington, D.C., to the UK, to very different countries. What would you want them to know that you probably didn't know when you were traveling?
Over here, when you go to the store, you can't bargain. Everything is the price that you see.
Yes. Amazing. So if you want to travel,
then they add tax. Count. I mean, unless they own their own business or something. But really, like whatever you find that you do travel, just be patient with yourself, give yourself some grace, and just take the time to learn that city and learn the people. But most of all, only one thing to just learn your surroundings.
All right, so give yourself some time. You will get into it. You're going to learn a few things. Yes, so we are preparing on your new music, and we are waiting for it. Insecure. What inspired Insecure?
So I wrote that song back in like 2003. I was dating this dude that, was kind of insecure, like really insecure. Mm-hmm. Like every single time I leave the house, he wants to know my whereabouts. He wants to know this, that, and the third. Oh, it looks like it's about to stop playing. Yeah, so basically the song in itself kind of just really explains the whole, situation. So because he was always just so insecure, I'm like, nobody got time for that.
This one. All right, we like that he inspired good music. That is the thing about music. Even your worst situation will give good song. And we are grateful. We're going to be listening to Insecure shortly. But I want to know where can we find your music, and where can we find you personally on social media?
I am everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Let's see, TikTok. I'm on all those platforms. Instagram is one that I find myself using the most. Facebook, I also have that as well. I also have, let's see, you can find me on YouTube as well. So for YouTube, Spotify, anywhere music is sold, even Boomplay, all that has my music on there.
Yes, so you can find Bernard's music anywhere.
So really, like, if you look me up, you'll find me.
Yes, if you look her up.
Yeah, I'm everywhere.
Yes, you will find her. Any final remarks as we close and listen to Insecure?
Just, follow, like, subscribe. Let's keep the culture going. I mean, I'm a Kenyan in America, and I am trying to improve, have people listen to our music, like Afrobeat has really taken over, but we don't have Kenyan artists on that level. So we need to help each other get there.
Yes.
And it takes folks like you, folks like me, everyone that's listening to be able to like, subscribe, and push the brand forward. And we need to really appreciate Kenyan artists for real. And the way Nigerians do theirs, that's what we need to do for ourselves.
Yes, and we are going to be here to do exactly that. So like our music, subscribe, share with your friends to listen. And Eureka, we've had an amazing time with you. You are, apart from just a great musician, you are also very warm. We are happy to have you on the show. And right about now, we want to hear Bernard's latest song called Insecure. Amazing time, amazing conversation right here on Art and Culture Monday, and of course bringing us amazing music from all the way from Washington DC, and we're definitely enjoying it. I like that her contact people are right here. I like that her producers, her mastering and mixing is done right here. That means we have some talent. We have some talent right here in our country, and we appreciate each and every one of you who is doing, having long, sleepless nights, making sure you're honing your skill, because people out there are definitely seeing it. There's a bit of feedback on Facebook, so I want to get to that in just a bit. In just a minute or so. Let me see. We started with Ijaluo. Ijaluo is saying tuned in. Thank you very much. Gikiri Ed is saying tuned in to the biggest show on the airwaves, Art and Culture Monday. Thank you very much, Gikiri. It's always a pleasure. Avush Benadino Lord anasema lit. Lit. This show is lit. Thank you. Thank you very much. Onyango Esau anasema tuned in. Asante sana. Thank you for tuning in on Art and Culture Monday. Ijaluo anasema Eureka is doing amazing work, and love from all the way here to all the way to Washington DC. Maite Jones anasema Revolution. Yes, he is loving the song by Bernard called Revolution, and yes, I do agree with you. It's an amazing song. If you're wondering where all these people are commenting at, they are coming to Facebook Live, where we are streaming live right about now. Actually, we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, so you have your options. Your options ni mingi. Just look for KUTV Kenya. The show that is streaming on Facebook and YouTube is this one, Art and Culture Monday, and we are loving each and every bit of it. Alternatively, you can text us or WhatsApp us on 0739 110544, and we're going to be getting to your comment in just a bit. All right, we were talking about culture shock, and we have heard from Bernard on her experience, of course, traveling to the US 2000s. In the 2000s might have been a bigger deal than it is right now, but still the culture shock does not change. Like she has said, there was a lot of different values, different food, even different languages. It can be English, but how are you speaking your English, So that can be a whole lot of culture shock. Or how are you listening? Are you even hearing the English that they are speaking, So all this had to be put together, and she has said, give yourself some time, give yourself grace. You're not from there. Please, you're not Chinese, okay? So it may take some time for you to adapt into their ways and their cultures and their values, but give yourself some time. You're commenting on that. You're telling me your experience with culture shock, if you have traveled, outside this country, or even from village to village. If you moved from Ukambani and Mombasa are pretty close. If you moved from Meru, from Meru, and you went to Kisumu, how was your experience? If you moved from Kisumu to Mombasa, to the Swahili people, from Bungoma to Nyeri, those are very different cultures, values, even food. There's a lot of differences right here within our community. So let me know if you have had an experience with culture shock, and how did you take it, and how did you manage to get through it? That is the conversation that we are having. Like I have said, it's on 0739 110544, and also our online platforms at KUTV Kenya and at CAREN Blessing. Right about now, we are going for a break, but when we come back, we're going to be having our second launch of the day, and this is all matters youth, sexuality, and everything, including the opinions of youth in certain matters. We're going to be getting to that conversation briefly, but right about now, we are going for a short break.
Maybe comes from those remote areas, even if they're above that 8 years or 12 years or even around 14 years, you'll find that their appreciating of issues is really low compared to a child in Nairobi.
Badala ya kutafuta kazi, tunaweza kuanzisha miradi yetu ambayo ingetusaidia kubadilisha maisha ya wazazi wetu.
Kwa vijana wenzangu, wengi wale wana kazi, lakini ikiwa sisi wenyewe tutajiamini, tunaweza kujiajiri wenyewe.
Afrika kwa kweli tuna mahitaji ambayo ukiyasuluhisha unaweza kuathiri watu kwenye bara hili
bila woga. Watu huwa na uzalishaji zaidi, wanajawa na ujasiri, wanakuwa wabunifu na wanakuwa wenye maarifa.
Niliamua kuacha kazi, hata kama sitafanikiwa, nitakuwa nimejaribu, nitakuwa najua haiwezekani.
Hakuna kitu cha ajabu hapa. Kila anayepata ufanisi hufanya kazi usiku na mchana.
Kitu kitakusukuma na kuwezesha kupata maarifa ambayo hukuwa nayo.
Tunajaribu kutengeneza kitu kitakachopita mipaka ya nchi hii.
Ikiwa unataka kubadilisha ulimwengu, anza na nyumbani.
Welcome to Children's Corner. Welcome to
Children's Corner.
Children's
Corner.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepopa siko kufuku. Pepopa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaweza kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Dunia ni Leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are at 40 minutes past 8 a.m., which means that we still have about an hour to go, and this hour will be full of information, entertainment, and everything that is Art and Culture Monday. So we are here for our second launch, and I'm not alone. I am joined by a gentleman that we are going to be having a conversation with, and also his counterpart will be joining us via Zoom. So shortly we are going to be having Rita on Zoom, and we're going to be having this conversation, the three of us, and disseminating what it is that we are talking about. But right about now, I just want Emmanuel to say hello, tell us where you are, what you do, why you are here, and then we jump right in.
I'm Emmanuel Lee.
Yes.
I support communications at the Center for the Study of Adolescents, which in short is CSA Kenya.
Yes.
And we basically work to improve and impact the reproductive health and rights sector of young people, and also including adolescents, to just make sure their reproductive health and rights are realized and upheld.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. How important, because I think we have had this conversation over and over again, and we are still having it. How important is the discussion on reproductive health? Who does it touch on most, or who does it affect most? And why is it important for you to even have a whole organization basically discussing matters reproductive health?
I mean, sexual reproductive health and rights affects everyone.
Yes.
It doesn't matter the demographic, it doesn't matter the age, whether you're young, whether you're old, whether you're just middle-aged, you definitely have sexual reproductive health and rights needs. But specifically for young people, there has been a rising gap in their needs and meeting their needs. And this is because, also with the time and how the time has been changing, the demographic has also been changing and the culture has been changing.
Yes.
So to mean young people now are more exposed. Young people are now practicing on certain activities that maybe our parents didn't even get to think about. And so this means young people are exposed to so many risks, before they even get to school or even to advance to tertiary institutions. And also for the disadvantaged young people, and here we're talking about adolescent girls and young women who are just also trying to get menstrual hygiene products. That is also a reproductive health issue. So when we speak of reproductive health, it doesn't necessarily just fall under sexuality, but it's a whole spectrum where it affects just the health, access to service, and also information and level of awareness.
Exactly. So times are changing, and so we are having this conversation in order to change with the times to meet the needs that are as of right now. Amazing. We have Rita via Zoom. Rita, can you hear us? Rita?
Can you hear me?
I want you to say hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Amazing. Please say hello, tell us who you are, what you do, and then we will dive right into this conversation.
Okay, hello. My name is Rita Anindo Obonyo. I'm the Youth Project Coordinator Reproductive.
All right, that is Rita joining us via Zoom. We are trying to get our connection vizuri, Rita. Your network is a bit, we are waiting for you to sort that in a little bit, and then we're going to be going on with this conversation. But luckily, Emmanuel is here to help us, where we can, before we get Rita right. And how did you come to work with Rita? Let's start there.
This is definitely a small and a big space at the same time. We've started out as youth advocates, as champions. Here is where basically we're volunteering our time to just make sure our fellow young people are impacted, and also get to be informed, also get to be aware of what reproductive health means and what it represents in their lives, so that they can be able to identify their needs and be able to cater for them. So with that journey with Rita, all that time, it has been around 5-6 years now. And now we're literally in the system, and we're trying now to pull up our influences, pull up our skills and all our capacities and networks to just make sure that young people are meaningfully engaged, young people are meaningfully involved, and also at the end of the day, they are also impacted positively, and they are the direct beneficiaries of what we are trying to achieve, which is a healthy nation.
Yes, amazing. I'm being notified Rita has joined us. Rita, you can hear us well? Yes, Rita?
Can you hear you well?
Yes, amazing. Perfect, thank you. Emmanuel was just telling us how you started out, and it's been quite the journey. It's 5-6 years is a long time. So Rita, where are you involved right now, and what exactly are you working on?
Currently, right now, as I had mentioned, I work for Reproductive Health Network Kenya, and we have a scientific conference that is happening in June, And we are calling out on young people to participate in this conference. Just a bit of a background. When we look at the statistics, Kenyan statistics of young people, we have more than 75% of young people, of people below 35 constituting of young people.
Yeah.
This is problematic. This is an opportunity to be problematic because in this population, there isn't 15% of the of the adolescents and young people are people who have got pregnant, and 12% constitute of live births, and 1% constitute of those who got a miscarriage, or it could be an unsafe abortion. This statistics is worrying, having our current population, and this statistics really shows that if we continue with the current trend, then we cannot harness from our demographic dividend. And what do I mean with this? It impacts the quality of life. Imagine that girl who got pregnant at the age of 14, that girl who is 22 and she has 2 children. What does this mean for the quality of life of this child? Another thing that is also a concern is also the economic growth. While we focus on the numbers, these numbers impact on our economic growth and on our outcomes of economy. Right now, we are struggling with inflation, where a lot of people cannot even afford unga. Imagine if we have a country where HIV new infections are high among adolescents, teenage pregnancies are high among adolescents. We also have unsafe abortions happening among this cohort. What does that mean? It is going to be worse. And that is why we cannot healthcare as healthcare alone. We need to look at healthcare and how it relates with other aspects of our country's development, including economic development, climate change, gender, and other issues. So that is where we are, and we are saying we are providing a platform where young people can be meaningfully engaged. We have a lot of interventions happening in this country. A lot of NGOs go to Korogosho, go to Kibra, go to Madare, go to Mukuru, go to rural areas. A lot of things are being done. But again, what is the gap? Why are teenage HIV new infections? Why are we not reducing mental health issues among adolescents and young people? It is because young people are not meaningfully engaged in programs, and it means that the programs are not informed and they are not human-centered. It's people who are coming together and doing their own interventions, assuming that this works for the young people. So that's it from me.
Yes, amazing. Thank you, Rita, for being here and for expounding on that. And Emmanuel, this was actually my next question, because I took note of the meaningful youth participation. Does that mean the participation that has been there has not been meaningful? And also, because I have told you we have this conversation so often, you'd think we have come to some change right now. Yeah. So yes, what has been happening, and what are you trying to introduce that is going to actually work?
First, we're not even trying to introduce, because these policies that have been placed. Yes. It's just a matter of implementing. But first, I mean, the state of young people in this country is deplorable.
Yes.
Honestly, young people are not okay. Yeah. Despite the tremendous milestones that we've made to make sure that young people are at mind, young people are at heart, young people are not okay. Young people are experiencing worse times even ever than before. And just to shed some light, and Rita just mentioned of how we're constituting 75% of the population.
You'd think we need a lot of help. That's a lot of people.
Let me tell you.
Quarter of the nation.
Now imagine if this number of population is affected and is not able to economically empower themselves, economically just support themselves, support their families. So what does that mean for us as a country? And I mean, as of July 2022, I mean, Kenya was rated third highest in matters teenage pregnancies.
Yes.
And 98 of young people, 98 were getting infected weekly. Weekly. With HIV and AIDS. Imagine.
Wow, these
98
staggering
98 young people.
Yes. per week.
Weekly, we were getting these numbers.
Yes.
And I mean, this does not only just stop there, because then it means we're also getting a population that's also mentally ill,
Yes.
a population that's also affected by mental health. And pure diagnosis is not helping at all. And
Yes.
the lack of proper services is not also helping at all.
Yes.
So I mean, clearly young people are not okay, and we definitely need more interventions. We definitely need more resources pooled to just make sure that this population is put intact. And you mentioned about meaningful youth participation. This is a concept where young people are involved in the conversation.
Yes.
Young people are involved in the designing process,
Yes.
are involved in the implementing and in also the monitoring. And it is just not involvement at all.
Yeah.
Because I might be sitting at a meeting, I will say something, and it ends there.
Yes.
I mean, so what is the impact of me sitting in that meeting? I mean, so you want to record that we had Emmanuel, a young person, in this meeting,
Yes.
but where does the buck stop? So I mean, meaningful youth engagement and participation is whereby yes, young people are involved.
Yeah.
Yes, young people have a seat at the table, and they are not viewed as beneficiaries, even though they are,
Yes.
but leaders and partners
Yes.
in this conversation and in the designing process. So that by the end of the day, we are getting interventions, we are getting programs that are clearly centered for the youth and are made by the youth.
Yes.
So that the intake now is also natural, the intake is organic.
Yes.
Because right now what we are having, I won't lie, is some aged old guys
Yes.
who are trying to make interventions and programs for young people,
Yes.
thinking this is what they need.
Assuming that this is what they need.
Yet it is not the case.
Because I'm imagining, even if you're making these assumptions are of course based from their time when they were young people,
Yes.
which is probably not what is happening right now. So their hearts may be in the right place, but they are not helping as much.
Yeah, I mean, and to just show how we're changing really fast. I mean, the internet took about 2 years to get to around 100 million subscribers.
Yes.
Facebook took around 6 months
Yeah.
to get to 100 million subscribers. And you can also somehow, because it's not so far with Instagram,
Yes.
but guess how long it took TikTok to get to 100 million subscribers?
Yes. I'm guessing even shorter.
Yes, a month.
A month.
So if such a ripple effect
Yes.
can happen within a month, because I mean 100 million people are a lot of people.
Those are a lot of people.
So what is time, what are years, and what is our age then compared to that?
Yes.
Then it means change is happening and is happening rapidly.
Yes.
To also mean that the culture shifts are also happening so rapidly,
Yes.
in a manner that only those who are directly affected can comprehend.
Can be able.
Yes, and can be able to just set up conversations and also
Yes.
processes that can be of help to them and their demographic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the only way to really get in line or get ahead of everything that is changing, the demographics, the everything, it's if we ourselves, the young people, can get at the forefront of
Yes.
policy making, of being part and parcel of those conversations. And then Rita is back. Rita, I want you to take us through the national and international policies that exist as of now regarding adolescents and youth sexual reproductive health. What are some of the both international and national policies that are in place?
When I speak about the national policies, I want to speak about a landmark process that happened in 1994, where 179 governments came together and recognized that reproductive health is human right. And it is not just about population, but recognizing sexual reproductive health as a human right.
Yes.
And that is during the ICPD forum. That is one of the commitments that is international and Kenya has ratified. We also have the generation equality. We have we have the Maputo Protocol, among other commitments. And just to mention, in terms of international commitments, we have the Constitution of Kenya, Article 43, that speaks about every person having the right to healthcare, including reproductive health. And it's important to also note that the Constitution does not discriminate who should access reproductive health. We also have Health Act that is an accompaniment of the Constitution that also speaks about, and it breaks up reproductive health mean issues of consent, among other issues. I'll speak about other guidelines. We have YFS guideline that is currently running. We have the AYSRHR policy that is in the pipeline being reviewed. We have the RH or reproductive health policy. So really we have a lot of policies that Kenya and other countries, Eastern African countries, have ratified. Yes. But again, I want to speak about the biggest challenge we have, and the biggest challenge that is contributing to the increased numbers of teenage pregnancies, even menstrual health issues. The other day you saw Honorable Gloria being shamed by parliamentarians. These are our leaders, shaming another leader who has power, being shamed because this person allegedly was going through her menstrual period. So imagine these other girls who don't have power, who are their community because I'm speaking about power because power is very important, even when you're talking about localization, because localization is about power. Those who have power and those who don't have power. And power can come in different ways. Power can come in terms of resources. Power can come in terms of privileges and the authorities we have. So the biggest challenge, we have these policies, but people who have power are able to enjoy healthcare rights than those who don't have power. And I have mentioned resources. I've mentioned different types of power. So in Kenyan context, we have the challenge of power, where there are people who are not able to access healthcare rights because of the biggest challenge that they don't have money to access healthcare rights. Go to informal settlements of Korogosho, go to informal settlements of Madare, where we don't have people who can even access healthcare insurance cover. Then it means that there's inequalities in terms of healthcare access. So our conference is championing for localization, to say that we are localizing global commitments so that every person can access equal healthcare services.
Yes. Thank you. Just before we let you go, before I come back to Emmanuel, I wanted to know, Rita, are these national and international policies helping? One, are they right? Because before we go to implementation, we have to understand, are the policies actually right? Is what we are lacking just implementations, or these policies also are lacking? So are they lacking or not? And is what we need implementation or additional policies, or what exactly is going to be getting us on our way up?
I would say that the policies could be inadequate, but they also speak to healthcare.
Yeah.
But again, it's a progress back what we had in terms of access to healthcare, especially for women and girls. Access was very restricted. That is something we need to note. And there has been strides that have been made to ensure that access is there. It's important to note that healthcare, again, just like other issues, can be political. But again, we need to have conversation, meaningful conversation that speak to our values as African, that speaks to human rights and value and dialogues that are very meaningful, to ensure that nobody dies because they're not able to access healthcare services. Yes. Or other people are able to access healthcare than other people. So I would say that the existing are not that comprehensive, but we've made strides in ensuring that that every person is able to access healthcare and other human rights privileges. Thank you.
Yes, so there are some policies that are good, we need to implement as we even improve on them. Rita, your final remarks on the annual scientific conference that is this June. soon, what would you like to see happen? You know, in an ideal situation, what would you like to see happen before we come back to Emmanuel in studio?
So what I would like to see happen is I would like to see co-creation.
Yes.
I would like to see co-ownership. I would like to see co-partnership. Conferences, again, we are speaking about localization and power. A lot of times young people don't even have the knowledge to be able to participate in these relevant forums. We have great young people who are doing amazing jobs. They are doing interventions on menstrual hygiene. They are doing interventions on teenage pregnancies, how to curb teenage pregnancies. Yeah. They are doing an intervention on gender-based violence. But these young people don't know how to pitch some of these projects. And because they don't know how to pitch or speak about these projects, and they don't have access to relevant platforms where they can showcase their work, some of these interventions just get to die because, again, resources is also a challenge for young people.
Yes.
I am calling on young people for us to co-create some of these platforms and ensure that we are part of the conference and that we champion for meaningful youth engagement. But we are the change we want to see. It starts by yourself. Show up, submit an abstract, and be part of the process.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Rita, for being here. For now, we want to let you go, move on to other things, but we hope to have you here because the conference is in June. Yeah. So that means we have some time. We hope to have you, Rita, in person as we continue with this conversation. Also, this is a conversation I feel cannot be done in one sitting. Yeah. So thank you, Rita. I want to come back to Emmanuel in studio, and thank you so much for joining us. You have truly shed light. I feel you are the simplicity of this conversation because otherwise it just seems like a lot of jargons. I like the way Emmanuel and Rita are bringing it to the ground, to the common mwananchi. So what is a kid in Korogosho thinking about this participation? So thank you very much, Rita. We are hoping to have you sometime in person soon. All right. We want to move on, Emmanuel, and we are talking about, Rita is talking about meaningful youth participation as well as localizing power. I want you to go back to localization of power because we had talked about it's not just about having these young people in meetings saying things and writing down minutes and nothing is done. So what does localization of power mean in this specific context?
I mean, let me just even start off by just lauding Rita.
Yes.
I mean, she has mentioned the policies, the international policies and the national policies that Kenya, is ratified under. And I mean, as you can hear, and also as the audience can bear witness, I mean, Kenya is tremendous in having policies. I mean, we do have policies back to back.
Yeah.
And they are great policies, especially the Maputo Protocol. I mean, it caters on matters, reproductive health, on adolescent young women and women in general.
Yes.
So here we're talking about sexual and gender-based violence. We're talking about menstrual hygiene. We're also talking about child marriages, and we're also talking about teenage pregnancies. I mean, just by that policy in itself, if it is implemented effectively, I mean, right now, because we're experiencing the triple threat, which is new HIV infections, which is SGBV, that is sexual, gender-based and violence, and also the teenage pregnancies. I mean, if that policy in itself is effected, I mean, the numbers that we are currently experiencing will definitely decrease.
Go down,
because I mean, teenage pregnancies, what it's telling us, it's young people are having unprotected sex.
Yes.
That is what a pregnancy means, unprotected sex.
True.
And if then it's teenagers who are having unprotected sex, then what does that mean? So now we bring it to the ground, right?
Exactly.
This means that young people are pre-exposed to the risks that come with, unprotected sex. Here we're speaking of STIs, we're speaking of HIV. And I mean, STIs can also not be very kind to you. Because something like gonorrhea or syphilis can run you mad. And if not in time catered for or addressed. But let me now just come back to localization. I mean, yes, these policies are made on an international level, right? And a country such as Kenya decides to place its commitment under that specific policy.
Yes.
So then the policy needs to be contextualized, and by this, we're meaning it needs now to read in the context of Kenya. It needs to read in the context of the problems that the people of Kenya are facing, be it economic, be it reproductive, whatever kind of policy.
Specifically.
Yes. So, and now the fact that we are even devolved, it even now means going further to get into the specific counties, the specific sub-counties and wards, to know what are the specific needs of the demographics, and for this instance, the reproductive health needs of the young people. And Rita has mentioned Korogocho, because these are the places that most of the times are marginalized, and young people are left alone, and we also have abandoned children and the orphaned children. So what does this mean for them? I mean, a young person, they're not economically right.
Yes, let's not.
And they need to go to school.
Yes.
School is fees, because even in our public, and I want to put that in quotes, our public schools, there is some bit of money that is paid.
That is required.
So what if now this young person, and because there are many, cannot afford, because we've seen many young people, and these are teenagers, we're speaking about being sent home because of fees. Now they're in primary school, they need to look for fees. And remember, they're coming from a family that cannot support them economically. So it means that now they are the providers. So it means they have to look for work. Now, we recently saw the expose about the tea farms. So now, let's bring it down so that we can also get an understanding about the triple threat. So there's this young girl sent away from school. She wants to look for fees, for money, at least money for food for that evening. Now she has to look for work. So the coffee farm is a very right place, because it doesn't need any experiences, it doesn't need papers. So she goes and looks for that work. But now she's required to offer sexual favors for her to get the work. Now, mind you, this young person doesn't know anything about contraceptives, doesn't know about protection, but what is in her mind at the moment is food and school. How can I
be able to get?
Now, if honestly what is in your mind is food and school, I mean, is offering sexual favors without protection really a concern to you at that specific moment?
Not really.
So here we're speaking about the risk of the HIV infection. That is where it comes in. We're speaking of the risk of teenage pregnancies, because that is defilement. Before even we even go further. And what is defilement? This is sexual gender-based violence. So with this just one person, they have been affected by the whole thing.
Everything.
Yes. And I mean, so by the time they're coming to give birth, for the one who will choose to give birth, number one, accessing antenatal services. I mean, does she know the services? Does she know the facilities where to get?
Probably
and
not.
For the one who doesn't want to come or to get to term with this child and needs to get rid, I mean, getting rid is expensive. Does she have this money to get rid of this abortion, of this child that is growing in her? The answer is no.
Probably no.
So what will she do? Quacks, backstreet, unsafe abortions. Then we end up with a dead young adolescent child who could have been very promising, maybe had a very promising future. And this is just one girl.
Exactly.
In Mathare or Korogocho. Now imagine the whole country.
No, we are talking about 75%. Probably I would as far as go to 90% of those people are in that situation that you are talking about. So we need to, by localize, we mean we need to contextualize, because we are very good at picking very amazing policies, but we need to bring them down to our level. We need to bring them down to who exactly is it affecting, how is it affecting them. Is this what the annual scientific conference is trying to do?
Well, the scientific conference brings together together researchers, scholars, partners, stakeholders, in the reproductive health space to just ideate and bring their learnings and experiences together and see how best, we can come up with solutions and how best we can be able to solve, once and for all, this problem that we're facing. And the most important bit of it, or even the greatest bit of the conference, is the involvement of young people. We're speaking of co-creation, where young people are part of the planning. Young people are part of the committees. We're speaking of co-partnership, where also young people themselves, with the NGOs that Rita has mentioned. We have a lot of CBOs in Kenya, by the way, and most of them are youth-led. So partnerships where young people come in place and put in their skills, put in their efforts, and to just bring this conference together. So yes, the conference is geared to making sure we alleviate the deplorable state that the young people are facing right now, and it's putting young people in the center of it. At the center of it.
So if anything, this annual scientific conference just doesn't want to bring on board stakeholders money-wise, stakeholders education-wise, people with information. It also wants to bring this youth that they are talking about to be part and parcel of the conversation of the day.
And provide platforms.
And
because, right now, with the many CBOs that we have, that means there are many initiatives that are running in the country, and most of them are innovative and highly innovative. And young people in Kenya, we recently had the young man who invented the gloves that can interpret sign language into audio. So for instance, the Reproductive Health Network conference provides a platform for such innovations. And young people can take opportunity by writing abstract of the innovations that they have created. And so get an opportunity to come, present their work, present their experiences, and also offer learning. And because it could be one, it could be five, but imagine one intervention, one initiative that could create a ripple effect in the country. And the best way to do that is to have these young people come
on board.
Because
they're the ones with these ideas. They're the ones with the know-how of what health do we need.
And the new ways.
And the new ways that they can be able to invent. And one thing I like about our country is, apart from just new policies, we are very talented. This country, young people have amazing ideas. You sit down and you're like, wow, where exactly, what were you thinking? Where were you seated when you were coming up with this? So we are not short of policies, and we are not short of young people with great ideas on how they can be able to be helped. All right, let's go on to recommendations. What do you provide as recommendations in improving the health outcomes of adolescents and the youth?
Among the barriers that we're facing, the biggest chunk of it falls under awareness. We young people, and by young people I mean adolescents, the young people and the youth in general. We might think we know, but we don't know. And we're speaking of the Maputo Protocol. Even from the audience, somebody just tell me what a Maputo Protocol is, and maybe even they've heard about Maputo Protocol today. So awareness.
Awareness is number one.
So increase awareness of reproductive health information of young people. And this can be done, by providing age-appropriate comprehensive sexuality education. And also, because also the MOH recently launched a website, a platform called lifeyangu.com, where young people can access reproductive health information, and young people from the ages 18 to 24. Number two.
So before you go, awareness is key, which is part of what we are doing now. Us having this conversation, us talking about Maputo, and us looking at people at giving information, basic information that you would think or you would assume people know, we are getting them to recognize, MOH now have a website, have somewhere we can go and access information. So awareness is number one. So accessing, because information is power. We start from there. Even before we go to implementation, information is power. And I hope that you guys at home are taking note, of these conversations. We are going to know where the conference is going to be taking place. We're also going to give you that information so that you can know where am I going to participate. Because if you don't know, then you can't participate in the first place. So awareness.
Before I even go to number 2, it's very great point that you've mentioned there. What we are doing here now, and that speaks to the role of media. Either be print, either be radio, either be TV. I mean, media has the greatest role to play in making sure young people are informed, and also parents and caregivers. Because I mean, at the end of the day, they're going back home. True. They're going back to their parents. So media plays a big role in influencing perspectives, in influencing cultures. So if we have the media properly on board, and they're also covering factual, information about SRHR, then we'll be on a very great trajectory to achieving these great results that we ought to achieve. Then going to number 2, and I've just mentioned it, is having young people lead and be partners. We don't want to be regarded as beneficiaries
recipients
again, anymore. Right now, we want to be partners. We want to be leaders in these conversations, because then if the mantle is with us, ownership is easy. Because you cannot fight for what you don't believe in. You cannot fight for what you don't own. So yes, we involve young people and be intentional with the involvement. Number 2 is increasing the finances and support to the advocacy and communication efforts. I mean, yes, we can have all these measures. Awareness in itself, is financial. Awareness in itself is economical. So then this means the larger bit of it, in as much as we try to find innovative ways to just work around, it's getting the right finances, it's getting heavy finances to go into these interventions, to go into these programs, to equip young people with the skills, to equip young people to provide with young people with the platforms, so that they can meaningfully engage and participate, and also impact now their fellow demographic.
Thank you for that, because we talked about, before you go to the next point, we say this problem of this kid in Korogosho, number 1 was school fees. If they had the school fees, we would not even have gone down the chain to the risk of HIV, to the triple threat. If she was not hungry, we would not have moved to her going to a coffee farm, So financial support, as much as we say, and I know we talk a lot about awareness and the youth opinions, but financial support is as great a factor as this. I mean, you took some transport to come here.
Imagine.
To give awareness, just talk. But there was transport, you had to dress up for this, you had to be prepared for this, and that requires financial support. So we cannot do this without financial support. There are rooms you will need to get into, and you just can't even dress anyhowly. If you go on there, you are going to this conference with slippers. No one is going to take you with a t-shirt. No one is going to even take your ideas seriously, no matter how brilliant they may be. So financial support is definitely key. We agree on that one. The next one.
And I mean, I must say, or maybe believe, the most important of all is involve parents, involve religious leaders, involve caregivers, involve the community leaders themselves in these conversations. Because I mean, it is high time. It is high time we stop burying our heads in the sand. Wake up, smell the coffee burner. We need change, and we need it now. Because if we continue, it won't be great for us. Rita has spoken about inflation. So now, if inflation goes up, then we also have a demographic that cannot empower themselves economically. Then we're up for doom.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's relatively high time that parents, community leaders, and religious leaders, because also young people spend time in churches.
Yeah.
They also now begin to having these conversations, and I mean candidly.
Yes.
Tusiguzie juju.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usiguzie juju. Go into the details.
Yeah.
Teach these young people how to make money. I don't know why religious places don't have these conversations. I mean, we're talking about everything else apart from how can you as a young person get empowered financially.
Yeah, I mean, don't just, inspire me. I mean, yes, inspire me and provide me,
Means.
with means and skills on how to now get whatever you're inspiring me to achieve.
Exactly. I'm yet to see conferences, or even you have brought up religious places that offer grants. If we can have 10,000, and this 10,000 is going to a young person who will give us the most innovative idea on how they can be able to move forward. That person in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years even, they'll have transformed that 10,000 into a company, financial help, financial aid to be able to let these young people empower themselves rather. Yes, another recommendation?
Maybe the last.
Yeah.
And this is where also the buck stops.
Yes.
Implementation of these policies. And I mean effective implementation, not just implementation.
Yes.
Because young people, as we're speaking, a big number of them are currently holding the government accountable. Yes. I mean, Rita mentioned about the ICPD coalition.
Yes.
In Kenya, mind you, the ICPD Youth Coalition was established, and it was recently launched sometime last year. And it's a number of youth-led organizations, and by youth-led we mean it's young people who are leading organizations.
Yes.
That came together and decided, tumechoka.
Yeah.
It is high time that we also hold the government accountable to the ICPD commitments it made.
That they made.
And they developed tools, social accountability tools that they are now monitoring the government on. The annual reports that are coming out, what are they saying? Does it reflect
the promises that were made?
Or does it even reflect the actual work that has been done in the community?
Yes.
Or the results that are being showed in the community? So effectively implementing and also holding the government accountable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are not just putting out great policies, clapping, we are happy, we are going to do this. We need to put it into action, to actually implement, because we can sit here and we can talk all day, but nothing will change if we don't take this conversation outside kwa ground.
Yeah.
So we go and implement, we go and know, okay, so what exactly is affecting this kid in Kibra, and what can we be able to do specifically before they get too old, even before they get to their adolescence, they are 9, they are 10, before they get to their teens, what can we be able to do to keep these kids from going in the first place, getting themselves into GBV, or are not even getting themselves because they don't really get themselves, to being affected by GBV, contraction of HIV, STDs, STIs. What can we be able to do to stop it?
Yeah, and just to also add something on top.
Yeah.
I mean, Rita spoke about power.
Yeah.
So I mean, this also stems to the goodwill, because if it's policies, and I mean, about even mental health, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta enacted a Mental Health Act when he was president. I mean, so you see, I mean, steps are being made, but now it's also the goodwill of those who are holding this decision-making seats.
Yes.
So that, I mean, let me speak directly to you.
Yes.
I mean, you are holding these positions. These are positions of high power, high influence. And a lot of young people are depending on your ability to just make sure that they are heard and whatever you're doing reaches down to them.
Yes.
So continue using your networks and your influence to spark up the goodwill that we need from the legislature to the executive, so that all young people can be impacted meaningfully and positively. And also just better, us as a country, in general.
And I think this is where you see all the energy that I want to call them old people for lack of a better word. That is where that energy can be focused into making sure the decision makers have been influenced in the right direction, that finances have been given to the right causes. That is how you can be able to help. Let these young people bring the ideas. Don't assume what they need. Don't assume what might help them. Ask them, and then follow through that chain to make sure that what they need has been given to them. I want us to wrap up and talk about the upcoming scientific conference. When will it be? Where will it be?
It is coming June.
Yeah.
And before we even get there, there are 3 ways that young people can participate.
Thank you.
So
please share them.
you can register as a delegate. Slots are still open. The deadline will be on 15th May. So chap on that.
Yes.
And for those who have ideas, innovative ideas, who have been implementing for a long time, that CBO that you're running, those initiatives that you're running, write about them and deliver this abstract to the RHNK conference. And the deadline for submitting these abstracts will be on 31st March. So it is fast approaching. So jump on their website. You will see a large banner over there, submit your abstract. So submit the abstract. And you can also look into organizations that are also offering scholarships, so that you can also get to attend physically to the conference itself. And if by any chance you don't get to be there physically, RHNK conference has you in mind, because it is hybrid. So to mean not even most, any update from the conference is shared online. So you can participate online, you can listen in to the dialogues, you can listen in to the conversations that are happening on the conference, and also get impacted and also get to share and get to learn. So those are the 3 ways that a young person can participate.
Register as a delegate? Let's go.
The Reproductive Health Network website. So just search for RHNK conference. The first link that comes to you, just click on it, and it will guide you from the delegate to the abstracts, and to also how you can participate online. Everything is embedded on the website.
So wherever, from the comfort of your bed sitter, from where you TikTok,
Manze,
you can be able to now do something meaningful, participate meaningfully in these conversations. So they're on the June date. Yes.
We have the poster.
The poster is right there. So the conference is going to be going on as your poster is indicating right there. They have all the information, all the details. So you can be able to see all that information, all those details. And if you cannot be able to attend in person, you can be able to join in online, like Emmanuel is telling us. So this conference is going to be the 6th RHNK Annual Scientific Conference on Adolescents and Youth of 2023. So of course, register now. You can be able to register from the 25th of January. Registration started on the 25th of January all the way to the 31st of March. So you can be able to register, and this is just for $200, okay, or $250. You early bird $200, so you get to save $50. That is amazing. If you will be late, $250, and this will be going down at the Diani Reef Beach Resort and Spa. This is at Diani, Ukunda, Kwale County. If you can be able to join, kindly go ahead and do so. Diani Reef Resort and Spa in Ukunda, Diani. All right, you can go ahead and do exactly that. Any final words as we conclude? Anything that is important that you have not shared that you would like to share?
Just a word. We've been told numerous times, young people are the leaders of tomorrow.
Yes.
What I want to bring you to attention to. Tomorrow is today.
Yes.
Tomorrow is now.
Exactly.
So to mean,
right now,
we are currently the leaders.
Yes.
Trust in young people. For me to be here, someone has trusted in me. An entire organization has trusted me to represent them and to also work, around issues of young people. So trust in the skills and capabilities of young people, provide platforms, and capacity build them where necessary, because it will come in handy to achieve in the long term this reproductive health progress that we want to achieve.
So have faith in young people. I like the way that by our conclusion, we have found the spot for young people and we have found a spot for the older people. The young people have this capacity, if only you can trust. Because I doubt if I had a younger and older member of the organization that you work for, I doubt they would have disseminated the information the way you have done. So someone needs to have faith in a young person to be able to communicate to his fellow young people. And in order for all of us now, you up there, push the policies, push on our ideas, let them be funded, let them be implemented. So there's a spot for everyone.
Yeah, because it is a partnership.
Yes.
Let's just make that clear.
Exactly.
It is a partnership because the adults have been here. They have seen how the system works.
Exactly.
The young people are also here and they know what is currently working now, so they have new ways of tackling that. So the adults can guide in how this is done and young people can provide the new ways. So it's a partnership for both of them. And it's a leadership for both of them. So there is room for everyone. No one is being left behind by the end of the day.
There is room for everyone. And I think that is my take home, that everyone can be able to participate and in a helpful manner be able to participate in this conversation. Thank you very much, Mano. It's been an honor, a pleasure to have you. I'm hoping that you will come back here because I feel that's a lengthy conversation that we can be able to have from all the way from GBV to HIV and AIDS to STIs to early pregnancies to unsafe abortion. There is really a lot that we could sit here and talk about and create awareness, because like you have said, that is our role as media, to create awareness, to let people know where are these organizations, where can they be able to register, how can they be able to form CBOs on these specific issues and be able to help out. So is there anything that we have left unsaid?
Shukran sana for the platform.
You're welcome.
I mean, if also you want to interact with CSA Kenya, you can follow us at CSA Kenya, that is on Twitter. We're also very active on Instagram, which is also at CSA Kenya, and Center for the Study of Adolescents on Facebook. We have amazing content, amazing opportunities that come up from time to time. And we believe in young people. So just be on the lookout. In case you see something, just throw in, and we'll definitely be there to help you where we can.
Yes, your next opportunity might be lying with CSA Kenya. So go follow them on their social media handles. Let's also create some, make some noise for CSA Kenya, because the louder we are, the higher our chances of being listened to are. So go follow, go like their work, go comment on issues that they put out there, go be part of the conversation. We are done. Ivy Maven Jr. is saying powerful conversations, I believe, and they're gaining from this experience. So thank you very much, Ivy, for joining this conversation. We are going to be getting to the rest of the feedback after we are done with the next break that is coming up. But right about now, we are done with our launch number 1. Emmanuel, thank you very much for being part and parcel of this conversation and for coming here in the first place, for getting your time, using your time to be here. We are truly grateful. When we get back, ladies and gentlemen, we are going back to our Duos Festival performances and enjoying some show, because we are here to learn as well as have fun while at it.
To look for high quality friends.
I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, Portmore. That's my village.
Kanga tu chini hapo ukinyedhia ukikatia mademo akipita.
Sina pesa saa hii, nimekuja kukopesa choo.
Tajabu Digital is a company that deals in interactive technologies. Our interest is creating applications, interactive applications that use gaming technology within them, so that if it's learning applications, we want to incorporate gaming into them. If it's applications maybe for training or visualization or simulation, we add a gaming aspect to them.
So there's a game currently which is under development called Undersieke.
Also, we also consult in equipments that they can use. If it's a different company, equipments that they can use for interactive simulations.
Adventures across the African continent.
See breathtaking wildlife, stunning landscapes,
and out of this world technologies.
Meet incredible scientists
and learn fantastic facts.
Explore, discover, be amazed.
Be part of the next generation of African change makers.
Be a part of ENGEN, Africa's #1 science discovery program. Yay!
We're learning every day.
Kipindi hewani ni mitindo ya kipwani. Kama ilivyo kipindi hiki kinahusu nyimbo za taarab, chakacha, midwara, midundiko, bila kusahau mapishi. Ambao ndio uti wa mgongo wa pwani ya Afrika Mashariki.
Jamani swahibu zangu mliopo maskani, hatuonani wenzangu, najua mwanitamani.
Hapa KUTV, nahodha mwendesha chombo cha baharini, yani ua linalunukia na kuvutia waridi tamu.
go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the 11th hour of Art and Culture Monday because we are 44 minutes after 9 a.m. That means we're just wrapping up. Of course, that was Duo's festival performance. It was incredible. Of course, loving the vibes that are coming in, and you guys are loving it as well. So I hope we are going to still be playing part of this because Duo's festival provided us with a lot of music, a lot of fun music to listen to. Right about now, we want to do something we have not done in a while. We have not had a movie trailer in a while. I think we've been packed. But today, we have a movie trailer for you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this one. It's called The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid is a story of King Triton's daughter, Ariel, who is a beautiful and inspired young mermaid with a thirst for adventure. Longing to find out more about the world beyond the sea, Ariel visits the surface and falls for the dashing Prince Eric. Following her heart, she makes a deal with the evil sea witch, experience life on land. Okay, so it's called The Little Mermaid of May. So just check out the trailer and be ready to watch The Little Mermaid.
Abandon ship!
Drowning. I had to save him.
This obsession with humans has to stop.
I just want to know more about them. Ariel, don't!
Poor child. I can help you. You can't live in that world unless you become a human yourself.
Is that even possible?
It's what I live for. Something about you seems different. I can't quite figure it out.
She got legs, you idiot.
He's a human.
doesn't make us enemies.
That is the trailer of the movie The Little Mermaid that is going to be out in May of 2023. So stick around for that one. You're definitely going to be loving it. You want to move on to our art calendar. Ndio tukupatie form ya weekend. Unajua, and we are starting from a place where I love very much. We are starting from Blessed Be the Fruit. This is a play from the multiple award nominated play up on the encore performance this March, the 17th, 18th, and 19th for one final time. Catch the amazing trio of Lorna Lemi, Helen Waithera, and Marianne Nungo, produced by Mwajuma Bell, and directed, of course, by Martin Kigondu. The early birds tickets will be done before you know it, so get yours. And now we would be honored to hear your experience with the play. That is Blessed Be the Fruit. So it's going to be going down from March the 17th, 18th, and 19th. Of course, it's going to be going down at the Kenya National Theatre. Tickets are going for just 1,200 advance tickets, 1,200 per single ticket, and a couple ticket at 2,100 bob. At the door, the tickets will be going for 2,000 bob. So go ahead and get your ticket of Blessed Be the Fruit. Of course, we are back once again. Miller's Production is back. And Miller's Production is a 2-time award nominees in Kenya and are back with a thrilling show called Midnight Train. This one is written by Kombo Saumu Kombo, directed by Terry Munyeria, and score by Brian Aseli. When guests aboard a train headed for a destination wedding starts disappearing, the couple has to figure out who amongst their invitees wants them dead. That is intriguing. That has to be intriguing. The show will be staged at the Kenya National Theatre on the 8th and the 9th of April. All right, so get your tickets at Tico Hub and you will be able to be enjoying the Midnight Train from Miller's Production. And Miller's Production does not disappoint, okay? So come up for that one and you will definitely be having some fun. Also, we have another one from Hall of Entertainment. Hall of Fame Entertainment is bringing you dark humor. Hall of Fame Entertainment is bringing you dark humor. And this is going to be going down on the 1st and the 2nd of April at the Kenya National Theatre, Ukumbi Mdogo. The story is meant to spread autism awareness while entertaining the audience. Of course, we would like to thank you very much. Hall of Fame is going to be joining us much later for an interview, hopefully one of these next Mondays before the 1st and the 2nd of April. We are going to be having Hall of Fame with us. All right, that is going to be amazing. Finally, Mama's Mirror. Mama's Mirror is going to be reflections of my mother's daughter. This will be at the Kenya National Theatre with Dr. Zippy Okoth. Dr. Zippy Okoth is an amazing all-round human being. I think that is the best definition. So she is presenting Mama's Mirror at the Kenya National Theatre. Early bird tickets are going for $12.50, and then the advanced tickets are going for $1,500, and at the gate you will get your tickets for 2,000 bob. The show starts at 7 p.m. March the 31st, okay? So at the end of this month, you're going to be watching Mama's Mirror by Dr. Zippy Okoth at the Kenya National Theatre. I think that has been it for our art calendar. Tumekupatia form. We have things to do in the month of March as well as the month of April, and we are going to be enjoying every bit of that. We are going to be, we were talking about culture shock, and I don't think we have even scratched the surface of culture shock. So I think we will package this in a culture story, in a culture formation somewhere in the course of the next shows, and we are going to be sharing it with you on how to cope with culture shock, the symptoms of culture shock, and how you can be able to deal, and the different stages. We will package that once again and share it with you, because I do truly believe that it is an important topic to discuss right here on Art and Culture Monday. But otherwise, thank you for your engagement, thank you for your comments, thank you for your love, thank you for your participation on Art and Culture Monday. I'll see you guys next Monday, same time, same place, same amazing show.